G'day guys, I've got a relatively complicated calculus question for you today in which we've been asked to differentiate y equals e to the power of x squared plus ln of 5 to the power of x with respect to x. Now what I'm going to do straight off the bat, guys, is I'm going to simplify this function or break it up into a few parts to make it easier for myself to differentiate. And the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to apply an index law to it. One of the first index laws we learn is a to the n times a to the m is equal to a to the n plus m. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this in reverse, guys, and I'm going to separate this e to the power of x squared plus ln of 5 to the power of x by just multiplying it. So our function will become y is equal to e to the power of x squared times e to the power of ln of 5x. Now guys, e to the power of ln of anything, the e and the ln will cancel. So this is just going to be equal to e to the power of x squared times 5 to the power of x. Cool. So now we're going to start to take our derivative, and the first thing we're going to use to take our derivative is the product rule. And the product rule, guys, is when we have a function that is essentially two inside functions multiplied together, such as this, the derivative of this is going to be equal to the derivative of the first function multiplied by the second function, add the first function left as it is, oh my god, add the first function left as it is times the derivative of the second function. Cool, so let's apply this product rule. Let's apply the product rule to this function here. So what we have is, if we want to find dy dx, this is going to be equal to the derivative with respect to x of e to the x squared times 5 to the power of x plus e to the power of x squared times the derivative with respect to x of 5 to the power of x. Cool. So guys, what I'm going to be using in this particular derivative, to take these derivatives, in this case here, I'm going to be using the chain rule for this part here. So this is going to be my chain rule part. And I'm going to be using the power rule for this part here. Cool. So let's just go through what each of these rules are again. So we have the chain rule, which is simply if we've got a function y equals f, but instead of x, we've got an inside function of g of x. The derivative of this is equal to the derivative of the outside function. We leave the inside function as it is, and then we multiply it by the derivative of the inside function. Cool. And the power rule is simply if we've got y equals a to the power of x, so the derivative is going to be equal to a to the power of x times the natural log of a. Cool. So let's apply these two rules. We'll differentiate these two things separately. I'll go back to my red. So the derivative of e to the power of x squared, what we're going to have is we're going to differentiate the outside function, which is just e. So that's itself. So d dx of e to the power of x squared is going to be equal to e to the power of x squared times the derivative of the inside function, which is x squared. So that's just going to be times by 2x. Cool. Now let's do our power rule. So we have dx of 5 to the power of x. So this is going to be equal to 5 to the power of x times by ln of 5. Cool. So now what we can do is we can insert these two derivatives that we've just found back into our product rule, and we can say that the total derivative, or dy dx, is equal to the derivative of e to the x squared. I'm going to put that 2x at the front. So we have 2x e to the x squared times by 5x. Oh, well, 5 to the power of x, sorry. Plus, we've got e to the power of x squared again, times by the derivative of 5 to the power of x, which we know is 5 to the power of x times the ln, or natural log, of 5. Cool. So what we're going to do is I'm going to factorize this, guys, by 5 to the x and e to the x squared, to simplify it a little bit. So I'm going to have 5 to the power of x, e to the x squared, outside of 2x plus ln 5. And that, guys, is the derivative. So let's just quickly go through what we did. First of all, what I did is I used an index law, basically the first index law that we ever learned, to separate the power, so it makes it easier to differentiate. What I then did is I realized that my function was in fact two smaller functions that are multiplied together. After I figured that out, I realized that I had to use the product rule first to go about doing my overall differentiation, and then I applied the chain rule to this first part and the power rule to the second part to get our final derivative. And that came out with 5 to the power of x, e to the power of x squared, in brackets 2x plus ln of 5. So guys, I hope the video helped. If it did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any queries about this solution, don't forget to leave them in the comments section below. Additionally, guys, if you have any other questions that you would like me to solve, also leave them in the comments section below. I'm always looking for new video ideas, so yeah, leave them in the comments below. But until next time, guys, just keep on practicing your maths, and yeah, I'll see you again soon.